As a point of reference, Abraham, you say that Esther speaks to Jerry. They write, they communicate all the time.
Took her a while to find him. But once she did, they talk every day. Esther, she lives some life and gets something that she's interested in. She always laughs as she begins to type it, because she types it and then she always says, I know you know this, but I know you know this. I know you know this. But she types it out because she wants the conversation that she's reaching for to be clear in herself. So she types it out and then she says, what say you? And then she just relaxes, quiets her mind a little bit, and then off they go.
And I found that I wanted to find my mum after Abraham started talking about that. So I have found my mum, and my relationship with her is...
We want to tell you a quick story.
Please.
We have time for this. We may go a tiny bit over on this segment and a little shorter on another one. So Jerry and Esther had decided that they were going to do seminar cruises. Long story that we won't tell you about right now. It's too long. But so they decided to take a practice cruise because they wanted to know what they were offering. And Jerry said, let's do the Inside Passage of Alaska because it'll be calmer waters. And so people that are first-time cruisers will have a better sea experience. And so they chose an Alaskan cruise. And so when they got on the ship, Esther loved it. She loved how it felt. She loved how she unpacked once. She loved what it looked like out there. She loved it so much. And then, as sometimes happens when you are really loving your life, she felt uncomfortable that her father had just made his transition. And she had always intended to bring her parents some lovely place with her, or lovely places, and never got around to it. They were never quite up to it, so she never did it. And now she is wishing with everything that she is that her dad, and mom, but her dad, who had made his transition, could be there with her. So she went into her cabin and laid on the bed, and as she's lying on the bed with tears in her ears, loving her daddy and wishing that he was there. And in her mind, she heard him singing, because they always sang in the car when they take drives, on the road to Mandalay where the flying fishes play. And at that moment, Jerry, who was giving Esther space and who was outside on the deck, said, Esther, come quick. There's flying fish. There's flying fish. There's flying fish. So that let Esther know that not only was her dad not missing this cruise, he was present in that moment and talked about what Jerry was experiencing in that moment. And she never again felt distance between physical and non-physical. She knew when somebody makes their transition, they are not seeable, smellable, tasteable, but they are feelable and knowable and receivable. But you got to be in the vicinity of them, and you got to know they reemerge into pure positive energy, and they're not worried about the things they used to worry about. They are lovers completely. And so when you remember them in the personality that you remember them, sometimes it doesn't add quite up. But in that moment, Esther knew there was no question about it. That just could not happen. That could not happen, that she was having that thought in that moment, and Jerry was having that experience in that moment. That's how the law of attraction works. And it's not just about physical. It's mostly about physical, non-physical connections. And as you let it be mostly about that, then you can have those delicious moments anytime you want them. But you can't yearn for your mother and find her at the same time.
No, and I appreciate that, and I have found her. And interestingly, we were just talking about another story.
Can you hear?
Sorry. We were, just before the workshop started, talking about another story that Abraham had told us about Esther connecting with her father, and how he said he saw your kids and all the rest of it. So
it's really cool.
It's no
surprising. So different than I thought it was going to be. He said, there are streets and furniture. And Esther said, furniture? That's funny.
So,
because they are focused with you. What you are translating into physical reality, they are too. And they are on the leading edge with you also, just minus any snarkiness or any worry about anything or any guilt. They have no grief about their death.
Yeah. So when they decide to come back and reincarnate, that doesn't diminish their focus
Because you are so much more than that. You are a stream of consciousness with many, many aspects simultaneously, which is very difficult to talk to someone who's holding a physical bag of marbles. You can't see it that way. The best way we have of explaining that, Jerry and Esther and Tracy flew to Boston many, many years ago. Tracy was a teenager. And we said to Esther as they were landing, "You'll like Boston. It was your last place of physical." And Esther said, "Really? You've never talked like that before." And Abraham said to Esther, stay with it. Stay with us. And so when they got into the cab to go to the hotel, Esther proudly pronounced to Jerry and Tracy, "This was my last place of physical." And we said to Esther, "All of you, all three of you." And they said, "Who was I? Who 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 was I?" It's 1 o'clock in the morning. They check into their hotel because we said, when you stand before the statue that is you, you will know. Statue? We were famous? There's a statue in Boston? So now it's 2 o'clock in the morning. They're running all over Boston, standing in front of statues. And when they got in front of the statue of Samuel Adams, all three of them, as if they had one voice, said, "I was Samuel Adams." And then they looked at each other, "Not you, it was me. Not you, it was me. Not you." And we said, the consciousness that is now in the three of you and more, the three of you and more, was in that time focused there. And then that was their first glimpse into how this stream of consciousness works. And really, friends, what does it matter? You got this non-physical cadre of non-physical beings who are pure positive energy, who are aware of who you are and what you want. And here you are, a facet of that, a magnificent and important, deserving of delicious life experience facet of that. Be that facet and wait till the next loop opens. Be that facet.
We really are all in this together, and we're all here now. Like, we're having one big party here. We're all one big...
But being all in it together, it is true, it is true, it is true, it is true. But from your physical perspective, you can't conceive of or perceive everybody all at once. And that's why you just take this and enjoy it, and this and enjoy it, and this and enjoy it, and this and enjoy it. You're not here to figure everything out. Everything can't be figured out because everything hasn't been created that you're going to want to figure out. In other words, it's this continual flow of unfolding and becoming. We want you to get into the feeling of that. And so humans just keep comparing, but the source energy part of you just keeps becoming. Yet the human part of you keeps comparing and believing and being right and having an opinion, while the source energy part of you just keeps intending and asking and becoming and savoring and enjoying and becoming. And as you more and more hold yourself in vibrational sync with that, then your life experience is like our friend said to us yesterday at the end. It was so beautiful. He said, it's just one lovely thing after another keeps streaming into my experience. And we say, that's the way it's supposed to be. This now moment, when in this now moment you are a vibrational match to your source energy, this now moment will produce for you the maximum satisfying experience. Oh, moment after moment after moment after moment after moment. You walk through life and people are saying things, you go, oh wow, I was just thinking about that and wondering about that. The law of attraction is a magnificent functioning mechanism with precision that is indescribable. But it is knowable because what you're living is describing what your point of attraction is.